Joe, that was a game that had a bit of everything, that one.
Yeah. And again, the character of our team, of our group of players, go down in a big game, relative to what we're doing. Hostile environment, and to manage, the first half in the manner that they did, to not only climb off the canvas but get themselves in the ascendancy. And then to give another performance, challenge the lads at half time. It's not about hanging on to a 2-1 lead. You have to be smart, calculated, but we need to win the second half, and credit to the lads. They won the first half 2-1 and won the second half 1-0, and can't ask for any more.
Because that first sort of 7 or 8 minutes, it was sort of harrowing and scary, and they were pulling you back, and it seemed like there was maybe a nerve or two in there, but it settled pretty quickly after that.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to ask the lads that. I'm not sure. They were quietly confident going out, and they've got a passionate fan base that were right after us from the opening gambit. They got themselves in the ascendancy, but I did feel on the touchdown, I thought they've scored too early. I felt we were much the better side. I felt that when we played them at our place, even though they beat us that night and we had 10 men. Watching them in the build-up, I know they're a really, really good side, and they've had a great run, and still 2 points ahead of us in the table, with a huge motivation based on what a top guy Daryl is, and obviously the bereavements and the sadness in his family, and you knew the players would be fighting and giving everything for him because he's a top bloke. But today I said to our lads, look, we wish Port Vale well and we wish Daryl well, but for the 24-hour period, we've got to be absolutely focused on the job we have at hand. And I thought today our lads showed a level of maturity, obviously after that opening skirmish, a level of maturity way beyond the years of some of them. And when you've got players like we have, you're never out of any contest, because firstly they never give up, secondly the fittest they can possibly be, and thirdly there's an enormous amount of match winners littered throughout the squad and even on the bench.
And obviously 3 goals today. I thought the first one back, it owed a lot to Paul Coots, who was immense for you today.
Yeah, he's I think that in recent weeks, when I watch him, he feels as fit as he's ever felt when we chat, and I think he's finding that new lease of life, and as the challenge has gone up, the intensity and the pressure, that suits Cootsy, because he has an ability to slow down and find space and a calmness in the midst of the chaos sometimes, and it's a real special quality, and that's what he does on the pitch. Everything he does off the pitch as a captain is 10 times that. As I said, I couldn't put a price on the captain that we managed to recruit, and he's been superb, and as I say, his performances certainly in the last period, as the pressure's gone up, have just got better and better, and again today, I thought he was outstanding.
And lovely for James Connolly and then Ryan Loft at the end to get their first goals for the club.
Yeah, I wasn't sure who'd scored that, and we've been working hard certainly with Connor and Beef on the Beefy James Connolly, on the getting getting a goal from a set play, making yourself a nuisance, real opportunity to attack your opposition defender. And the young lads, you forget they're both 20, but the way they've handled James Wilson, who's played for Man United, I think in Premier League, maybe even Champions League, and Proctor, who's a nuisance, absolute handful at this level, and Garrity as well, another one who scored a lot of goals. I thought between Coots, Hooley, Connor, obviously Josh Grant and Beefy, I thought they were exemplary after the first period.
And it keeps alive the dream, doesn't it, of automatic promotion. It's even tighter than it was before the start of the match.
I told you at Exeter, we got stuffed 4-1. Barrow told us we were coming, and you just gotta understand with a group when you turn around, when you change from what the club was when we got here to what the club was aspiring to be. It takes time, as I said, you can accelerate it if someone sticks a drill in the ground and manages to strike oil or some other really precious commodity. You can change that with money. You can spend a couple $100 million, in Everton's case maybe not, and you can get success. But also, money doesn't give you that. You've got to embed your culture. You've got to put your daily principles in place and your daily standards, and it takes a little bit of time for that to bear fruit. It's almost, speaking a lot of gardening analogies, but it's almost like your garden. You're not just going to get everything you want after you've dug it up and planted some stuff in there. It takes a bit of time for it to come to the fore for you, and our team's the same. We're just going to keep getting better. So the group's built on a solid foundation. We've got some really talented boys. We've got some lads who are out on loan, loan players. But what we have got, which you can't put a price on, is character and the dressing room is overflowing with it.
2 points behind the automatic positions, 3 games left to play. I mean, it's all set up for a very interesting couple of weeks for them.
Yeah, well, that's what we want, isn't it? Pressure's a privilege. You want to be in these situations. I think the best players, you think about Liverpool and Chelsea and Man City. This is a daily occurrence, a weekly occurrence. Almost, every game the stakes get higher, and I think as a player you should move towards that. That's what you do it for. You want to push yourself as far as you can. And as I say, the mantra for us pretty much since November has been the next game. Can we take care of the next game? And the next game for us is the team that sits top of the pile, and it'll be a huge challenge. But we're in the Mem. It's become the fortress that we always wanted it to be. And I can't wait to get in our stadium in front of our fans, on our pitch. And this is a fantastic pitch, but ours is better than it.
And just finally, a word on those fans. I mean, what a noise they made, those 2,000.
Yeah, and it's so nice to be able to, bring a fan base like that and then feed it in the way that the players did. To score that goal and the lads getting in there, putting the tops in and young fans coming on. That's the lifeblood of the football club. And as I say, I've spoke so many times about our fan base and seeing that today. I stood on the touchline even when we early started the second half, and I just thought, wow, that's a Premier League following. That if we can engage this fan base at the level the lads have in recent weeks, and we keep fostering that, great things can happen at the football club. Because without the fans, and if the fans aren't with you, it's tough to be a successful footballer. When they're behind you at the level they are, I think you're just seeing, our players are just thriving and growing every single performance.